This is the TCL C6K Mini LED, and it promises to be one of the best value for money TVs of the year. But what is the catch? Welcome back to the channel, I'm Phil Hinton, and today we're diving into the TCL C6K Budget QD Mini LED TV. Now, before we get stuck into why this TV may be a superb bargain for your second room use, I need to thank again all of you who have subscribed to the channel recently. It really is appreciated. If you want to help us build this channel and provide you with more of these TV, AV and hi-fi reviews from myself, Ed and Tim, then please remember to like the video and subscribe if you haven't already done so. You can also read the full in-depth review of the C6K on AVForums, where we go into more detail than we can in a video, and we also publish all our reviews first on the website, with our videos appearing on YouTube a little time later. Also remember that our reviews are never sponsored. We want to bring you honest and unbiased product assessments that are based on objective testing and over 20 years of experience to help you make the right buying decision when it comes to a TV or any other AV and hi-fi product. And AVForums is one of the largest AV and hi-fi communities on the web, so why not head over there and check out what like-minded tech enthusiasts are saying about this TV and more at avforums.com. So let's not hang about and get straight into the short verdict of the C6K. This is an entry level into TCL's premium QD Mini LED TV range here in the UK, and there are similar TVs in the US, but the range is far bigger over there. The simple summary of this TV is that it's excellent value for the price point. It offers really good image quality and features, especially for bright living rooms, kitchens, or in a dedicated gaming setup. Now, it's not perfect and there are drawbacks. Those are in dim surroundings with the lower zone count on this 55-inch review sample at just 180 dimming zones. That means that you do see more blooming and dirty screen effect DSE as well as clouding, particularly when you're sitting off axis. But for the money, the gaming features are a huge win, and if you watch head on, straight onto the screen with some ambient light in the room, the picture quality is genuinely very good, especially at this price point. Now, to understand the performance, we also need to look at the tech that's inside, and the C6K sits third from top in the model lineup in the UK, and it uses TCL's proprietary CSOT HVA panel, and that enhances contrast. It's supported by a 16-bit light and shadow control algorithm, and all of this is powered by their in-house developed AIPQ Pro processor. Not easy to say that one. It's HDR agnostic as well, so it supports a full range, HDR10, HDR10+, HLG, Dolby Vision, and of course Dolby Vision IQ. And design-wise, it's really quite a nice looking TV. It's sleek, the gunmetal grey looks very similar to the higher-end C7K model, and it sits on two stand feet towards the panel edges, so you'll need to measure the TV first when it comes to whatever surface it is that you're going to place it on, because those feet are not removable. Connections are side-facing and feature 4 HDMI ports, with crucially HDMI 1 and 2 being full bandwidth, 48 gigabits per second, HDMI 2.1. As always, if you want to deep dive into the performance of the C6K and our measurements, then you should head over to AVForums and read the full review over there. Here, I'm going to keep it informative but brief. Our testing always starts with accuracy, and we found filmmaker mode to be the best preset out of the box, although it wasn't perfect. We saw a lack of red and blue in the grayscale, pushing our delta E errors just above the visible threshold of 3. The great news is that after calibration using Calman AutoCal, these errors did vanish. Our grayscale now tracks perfectly, with delta E errors averaging around 0.5, and this means for SDR HD content, it's very, very accurate. Now, of course, I do live in the real world, and you're not going to get this TV calibrated when it costs as little as it does. I mean, a calibration from a professional who knows what they're doing and brings the really high quality equipment with them, the same equipment we use for the reviews here. is going to charge you about the same price as what this TV is probably going to cost you in the shop. So you're not going to get it calibrated. So don't worry about the slight errors that we saw in the graphs here in our review. You're not going to see them. It's not going to impact on the performance of the TV. And at the price point, it is really, really accurate. Now, let's move on to some HDR. And the C6K's HDR performance is typical for an LCD TV around about this price point. Peak brightness on a 10% window came in at around about 650 nits, and on a 50% window it hit 807 nits. Now this is respectable, but it does limit the impact of the specular highlights because this TV is incorporating blooming suppression, and what that does is it reduces the brightness of the really small parts of the image, so you don't get any blooming around those if it's a darker background and a really bright highlight. Now the problem with that is that it then impacts on the high dynamic range of the TV. It means that it's now suppressing that brightness, and in doing so it's taking away the dynamic range, and it does impact on the HDR performance. In terms of tone mapping, it tracks the PQ EOTF standard really well and up to the limitations of the TV. But for HDR10 content that is mastered above 1000 nits, you will see detail clipping, especially in the brighter areas of the image. And this is where Dolby Vision content really does shine, as its dynamic metadata uses the correct tone mapping to map the image to the C6K's capabilities. So you will see much more of that HDR performance with Dolby Vision content. That is the whole point of Dolby Vision, is that it uses this dynamic metadata to make sure that that image fits the screen capabilities. Moving on to the picture performance, and just like any other mini LED TV, uniformity across the screen can be an issue. Thankfully, on a 55-inch screen like this one we're reviewing, it's not too bad. You will see some patchiness in low brightness, and you'll also see some vignetting around the edge of the panel when you get up to about 100% on the white slides. We also noted dirty screen effect, or DSE, was visible during fast camera movements against uniform backgrounds, so a football pitch or cloudy sky, although, like I say, this smaller 55-inch screen does help mitigate that slightly. Motion handling was generally pretty good. Keeping the motion clarity setting off will help with film and TV content, so you don't get any of that dreaded soap opera effect. But if smoothness is your thing, then of course you can make the adjustments that you want there and add as much smoothing in as possible. But movie fans, TV fans, or you just want to see content as it's supposed to be seen, keep that switched off. Now for the big but when it comes to this TV. And that's the fact that at this price point and the technology it's using to hit that price point, it's really not designed for serious movie watching in a dark room. The combination of clouding and blooming is really quite visible, and the moment that you move off axis in a dim surroundings, the colour and contrast shift does become really apparent and is quite poor. However, this TV really is designed for a bright, well-lit room viewing everyday HD SDR content. It really does shine, and the C6 really excels in this environment. The black levels are completely acceptable, motion is decent, and the natural colours and skin tones look fantastic, and this is really the TV's sweet spot. If you're a gamer, then listen up, because this is where the C6K makes a very strong case for itself. You get two full bandwidth HDMI 2.1 ports, which means that console gamers get 4K 120Hz support along with Dolby Vision HDR. For PC gamers, it's even better. You get 4K 144Hz, throw in AMD FreeSync Premium Pro, ALLM and EARC, and you have a very well specced gaming display. The input lag is also quite low, 13.2 milliseconds at 4K 60, and a ridiculously fast 4.9 milliseconds with a 120Hz signal. As for the sound, it features a 2.1 Onkyo sound system which delivers 40 watts of power. Dialogue is clear, which is what you need for daily TV viewing, but it does lack bass and immersion for those movies. So the final word on the TCL C6K. It's a great TV, but it's not a home cinema TV. It comes recommended for two key use cases. Bright room viewing, so in a nice bright living room, it has a strong SDR performance, great natural colours and skin tones, and really decent contrast, so it works really well in that environment. Plus, if you're a gamer looking for a really cheap TV for a second bedroom or whatever, just for console gaming or even PC gaming at 4K 144Hz, well, it has FreeSync, low input lag, and it makes it an incredibly cost-effective gaming display. And if that's what you need, then this is a fantastic cost-cutting option that you should consider and add it to your shortlist. And of course, with Black Friday coming up soon, you may even find it even cheaper. So let me know in the comments if you'd consider having the C6K in your setup, and which TVs do you want me to cover in the future? We're not going to stop at the end of TV season. There's still loads of TVs that we haven't yet covered this year, and of course those won't get replaced till later next year. So if there are TVs that you don't see on our channel just yet and you would like us to have a look at them, or computer monitors or anything else that's AV or hi-fi related, then do let us know in the comments below. And if you found this review helpful, then thank you very much for watching. Please hit that like button and of course subscribe to the channel for more in-depth TV, AV and hi-fi reviews. And if you want to deep dive more into the testing that I did with this TV, then you can read the full in-depth review at AVForums, and also check out Europe's largest AV and hi-fi community over there, where owners of this TV and many others can answer your questions and more. Thank you very much for watching. I'm Phil Hinton, and I'll see you in the next one.